What if the fervent blaze of aspiration, that unquenchable fire igniting the soul against the mundane grind of existence, could summon forth not just heroes but the very monsters they vow to vanquish, echoing the double-edged swords of ambition in historical tales like Faust's Pact, where desire births damnation amid promised glory. Sense the acrid sting of sweat-soaked determination under glaring lights. Hear the resonant clang of makeshift armor echoing like forgotten vows. Feel the tremor of a heart pounding against the cage of ordinary flesh as shadows of legendary riders loom in the periphery. This is the electrifying surge of Episode 8 of Tojima Wants to be a Kamen Rider, released on November 22, 2025, igniting a tournament arc within the Aspiration Saga where a middle-aged dreamer's quest collides with real-world perils. Amid Tojima Tanzaburu's unyielding pursuit of Kamen Rider heroism, the episode crackles as a crucible of rivalry and revelation, reminiscent of the gladiatorial trials in ancient Rome where contenders forged legends from blood and ego, drawing you into the fray as if you're ringside at the improvised arena, the crowd's roar vibrating in your chest, leaving you riveted. In the clash of borrowed powers, what hidden fracture could expose the true cost of heroism, or will the suspense of its unveiling compel you to don the mask yourself? Transitioning from Episode 7's simmering tensions, where Tojima's ragtag allies grappled with Shocker's lingering shadows, akin to the underground resistances in post-war spy thrillers where loyalties fray like worn cables, this installment erupts into a competitive blaze that propels the saga toward uncharted confrontations. Ichiyo's bold proposal sparks a tournament among Tojima, Yuriko, Ichiyo, Mitsuba, and Yukarisu to crown the mightiest, their preparations evoking the rigorous drills of samurai in feudal Japan, where discipline tempers raw passion against mythical foes. Parallel revelations about mind control's vulnerabilities unfold through betrayed combatants, mirroring the ideological breaks in cult deprogrammings where love shatters indoctrination's chains. Yet, the narrative teeters on emergent truths about monstrous realities, halting amid a whirlwind of training triumphs and unresolved queries, immersing you in the sweat-drenched dojo as if the bear's growl rumbles in your ears, the group's triumphant cries fading into tantalizing silence, urging you to witness what beasts lurk beyond the bout and plot progression. Episode 8 accelerates the Aspiration Saga with explosive momentum, unveiling revelations about Shocker's fragile control mechanisms, and the tangible existence of monsters that twist the hero's worldview, culminating in a cliffhanger that suspends the tournament's aftermath amid hints of greater invasions, much like the pivotal escalations in epic quests such as the Odyssey, where homeward paths veer into divine trials. Key twists, including a combatant's defiant liberation and the group's adaptive training against recurring threats, advance the narrative by bridging comedic rivalry with ominous stakes, setting up broader conflicts with Shocker's enforcers. Pacing masterfully balances frenetic action with reflective pauses. The first half's ideological fractures build cerebral tension, yielding to the back half's physical duels for rhythmic equilibrium that sustains engagement without overload. Fans often debate cloudy aspects like the precise trigger for Naoko's mind control break, loyalty to Shocker or to his subordinates, and the bear's recurring role as a training motif. Drawing from the source manga by Yakusuru Shibata, specifically chapters 12 to 14, as per adaptation patterns noted in online manga databases, these clarify. Naoko's liberation stems from a profound devotion to his underlings, a thematic echo of the manga's exploration of love as a multifaceted antidote to indoctrination, not mere organizational fealty. The bear symbolizes escalating real-world perils, rooted in the manga's parody of tokusatsu tropes where mundane threats evolve into monstrous metaphors, providing deeper context that the anime condenses for satirical punch while preserving the source's layered commentary on heroism's absurd foundations, offering reassurance that these aren't plot holes but deliberate nods to Kamen Rider lore. Character development ignites with raw intensity, exposing psyches forged in the fires of unfulfilled dreams only to temper them through competitive crucibles, akin to the internal forges in Hemingway's arenas where men confront beasts to affirm their mettle. Tojima embodies steadfast aspiration, his motivations, scarred by midlife mediocrity, driving choices that surprise in their resilient humor amid defeats, consistent with his arc yet transformative as he inspires allies through sheer tenacity, leaving you to question your own dormant heroes. Ichiyo reveals a competitive edge laced with affection, his hidden wounds of overlooked potential manifesting in dialogue that surprises with its motivational depth, fostering growth from ego-driven rivalry to collective strength. Yukarisu and others like Naoko undergo poignant shifts, their actions a surprising blend of betrayal and redemption that humanizes Shocker's pawns, transforming indoctrinated foes into relatable strugglers, as if you're witnessing their armor crack, feeling the weight of their liberated breaths sink with your own. Thematically, the episode delves into the paradox of aspiration's double blade, manifesting in sacrifices where hope's forged alliances battle despair's monstrous intrusions. Characters wager egos on tournaments, probing. Can borrowed heroism withstand the invasion of true peril, echoing the moral ambiguities in Nietzsche's Übermensch ideals, where self-overcoming risks monstrous hubris. Survival demands ethical pivots from parody to purpose, enriching the universe with lore of mind controls, antidotes, and shockers, hierarchical fractures that complicate the tokusatsu parody, adding historical parallels to gladiatorial games where spectacles masked societal critiques. Dialogue crackles with satirical sharpness, poetic in its absurd gravitas yet impactful without cliches, lines that foreshadow monstrous truths and resonate like Churchill's wartime quips amid crisis, carrying the weight of heroic vows that linger, pulling you into the training montage as if the rallying cries boom in your chest, stirring curiosity. What oath would you swear if aspiration demanded your transformation? Technically, the animation from Studio Pierrot dazzles with kinetic flair. Vibrant reds and blues symbolize heroic ideals clashing with monstrous grays, lighting casting heroic silhouettes that fracture under peril's glare, where stillness in strategic huddles erupts into fluid combat beauty. As a satirical spectacle, not mere flash, but a mirror to ambition's absurd glory. Direction employs dynamic pans and intimate close-ups that amplify ego's tension, editing a rhythmic pulse that syncs with mounting rivalries, as if the frame charges with you. The soundtrack surges as a heroic anthem, its motifs of triumphant horns and ominous undertones imprinting during revelations, elevating satire while silences amid defeats roar louder than any victory cry, reminiscent of John Williams's swells in epic underdog tales. Voice acting captivates. Tojima's Siyu delivers with gravelly tremor and fervent intensity, embodying a soul-chasing legends. Ichiyo's timbre quivers with competitive fire, infusing his barbs with soulful depth. Emotionally, this episode kindles a blaze within. I felt exhilaration splinter into poignant awe, moments scarring with their comedic defeats yet sparking wonder at resilient dreams, much like the collective fervor in Olympic trials where underdogs rise amid falls. Pivotal collisions hint at destiny's forging in a heroic rupture that redefines aspirations, connecting to eternal queries. Amid monstrous realities, what mask would you don to claim your power? It resonates, as if you're there, the arena's dust settling on your skin. Dare you stand idle? Applying a reverse view, the episode's brisk pacing and satirical opacity might bemuse purists, yet these reflect deliberate stylistic parody, emulating tokusatsu's campy chaos as thematic commentary on heroism's absurdity, akin to the intentional exaggerations in commedia dell'arte that heighten truths through farce. Complexity in shocker lore could overwhelm newcomers, but it rewards engagement as narrative depth. Cliched tournament tropes, while evident, ground the parody in affectionate homage, tempering innovation with nostalgia and essence. Episode 8 excels in satirical spark and emotional thrust, its strengths, vibrant action, thematic wit, and character warmth, outshining minor rushes to achieve its goals as a rousing ode to aspiration. But as echoes of the bout fade into twilight's haze, I ponder, can you resist when heroism's call summons your inner rider? Watch, and let it transform your ordinary. The mask of your own legend awaits its dawn.